la ciencia.
Hey guys, my name is Pepe Torres and I'm here today to talk a little bit about ATRA virtual training and what you're gonna expect to see in the virtual training, which is a little bit different from, you know, the classes at EXPO in Vegas that we're usually used to doing and seeing. Basically, we're gonna have the class and I'm gonna be talking about the products that you should be using, or the products that you can use to build a tough diesel transmission. Like I've said before, so you don't turn the job away. And with all the aftermarket support out there, there should be no reason why you should be turning any high performance diesel transmissions away. What we have is a lot of aftermarket support available, and this is a prime example of your 68 RFE pump, for example. There's aftermarket billet parts. You have your aftermarket billet channel plate, deeper pans, more fluid, more capacity. There's a lot of brands out there. I'm not choosing any specific brands. I just want to let you guys know there's a lot of aftermarket support available to make these units work and last a long time. Also, what we have here, just an example of one of our carry-out units that's ready to go. Something that I'm going to talk about as well, that some of you shops might be looking at getting into, is selling carry-outs. I know a lot of shops are like, no, we shouldn't be selling them, too much trouble. But if you learn a few of the tricks to them, you should be fine. Shouldn't be a problem. Also, we're going to talk a little bit about the 2020 68 RFE. This is a brand new truck here that we just acquired, and we are going to be taking it apart. Doesn't even have 100 miles on it, but we're going to take it apart, beef it up. It's going to get more horsepower added, so we'll be doing some testing with that as well. Also, we'll be talking a little bit about the Aisin units, not so much in the internals, not so much about the Aisin internal failures. We're going to talk more about the electrical problems, because we see a lot of that. I get a lot of messages and calls regarding the Aisin units and how the transmissions are being affected by electrical problems. So I'm under a hood of a 6.7 Cummins here, and you're gonna be like, wait a minute, what does that have to do with the transmission? No cylinder head, no pistons in it. We're actually doing an in-frame rebuild on it, but I wanted to show you something. This is a cabin chassis model about the Aisin transmission. It's something we're gonna talk about that's very important. See this wiring harness here? It's hard to see with the whole engine together, but these wiring harnesses here are very common to have problems, and they're brittle and they rub and they have all kinds of problems. And you can clearly see this one's not damaged. It looks like everything's good, but it's very common for the Aisin transmissions to develop open circuits in this wiring harness here and the connectors. And we're also going to be talking about overlaying wires from the transmission connector all the way to the transmission computer inside the dash. Another thing we're going to talk about at this year's ATRA virtual training is we're going to dissect the factory and a little bit of the performance tunes in 68 RFE and General Motors 6L80, 6L90. Just to give you guys an idea on what you need to do or look for when you're diagnosing a torque converter lockup issue or a delay shift, early shift, bumpy shift. It's something that I want you guys to start learning and getting into. I know some of you guys are very well versed in it and they're professionals at it, but for a lot of people, it's not about tuning these transmissions. It's about understanding what you're looking at, what you're reading. When should lockup come in? When should lockup be aborted? On a 68 RFE, for example, when should the lone reverse clutch release? At what output shaft RPM should the low and reverse clutch be releasing to save that low and reverse sprag? That's just an example on what we're going to be talking about, so you can get more comfortable doing this and looking into the HP tuning software to explore the factory assembly line software that was put into 6L80, 6L90, and some of these 68 RFEs.